observe how the water is affected by static electricity. So I'm going to rub the ruler on my hair to create some static.
Okay, I'm going to demonstrate another property of water. I want you to observe two different points. The first is when I first put the water on the wax paper, and then after that I'm going to move it around, and I want you guys to observe what's happening. Okay, so first I'm just going to add a bunch of water onto the wax paper. So you guys want to try to figure out what property of water this is showing. Sorry, I like to do a lot. This is like Okay, so we got a bunch of droplets. Now, I'm going to take my eyedropper and I'm going to attach it to some water droplets. Okay, and this is your second observation of what's happening here as I move my eyedropper through each of the water droplets. Okay, and that concludes our second observation on water. Okay, so we have another demo on water for you. So if you look here, I have a little plastic cup filled with blood. Happy Halloween. Only kidding. It's just water with red food coloring in it. I have a glass tube. It is a tube, I swear. There's a little hole in there. It's hard to see, but there is. Okay, so this is called a capillary tube. I'm going to take it and insert it into the red water. And if you see, the level of the liquid in the tube is a lot higher than the level of the liquid in the water. Okay, so that shows, I'm not supposed to tell you, you're supposed to tell me. All right.
Water demonstration, we have a mason jar here. And as you can see, it's an open mason jar, and I'm going to fill this up with water. And as you can see, I can dump it right out. So now I'm going to do that again. I'm going to fill it about halfway, like this. I'm going to put this white piece of paper over it, and I'm going to carefully flip it over. And I want you to observe what happens. So now I flipped over my mason jar, and I'm going to remove the paper. And as you can see, we made a big mess. The water went everywhere. So now we're going to try this again. But I'm going to add some material here that still has holes in it. So I'm going to place that on top of our mason jar and see if this makes a difference. So again, I'm going to fill up the mason jar and show you how the water comes out. Now let's try this again. So I'm going to fill it up again about halfway. Okay, I'm going to use my white piece of paper, press it on top, and flip it over. Now I want you to closely observe what happens. The water is remaining in the mason jar, and we want you to tell us why. Okay, so in this demonstration, we have a penny in a dish, and I have a cup of water. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully drop water on top of the penny, and I want you to watch what happens. So there's 1 drop, 2 drop, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So watch what's happening to the water. So notice how it's not going anywhere. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you guys could come on and count along. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so notice how many drops it took. How many drops were able to be held?
Yeah. I don't remember what I said. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to add a small amount of water to the slide, just 1 drop. And then I have another glass slide with string attached that I'm going to put on top. I'm going to try to move it around to get like a really, really good seal between those 2 glass slides. All right, and then I'm going to pull it up by these two strings. Okay, and it's pulling our cup up. Now I'm going to add water. We're 1 drop of water is holding this cup. I'm going to add water to the cup. Okay, that's way a lot of drops. Way more than 1 drop. I'm not going to sit here and count them for you, but it's a bunch. Okay, and I don't know if you're like me. I'm a little impatient. I'm going to try to pour slowly. Okay, so here's the amount of water 1 drop held.
All right, so in this water demonstration, we have a string that's been soaking in water. And Miss Munez is going to continue pouring water on this string to transfer it to my cup over here. So as you can see, my cup is starting to fill up with water as it travels down the rope. And as you can see, we were able to transfer this much water into the cup.
Okay, so here's another property of water. I have a plastic cup filled to the brim, tippy top with water. It's even bulging a little bit, okay? And I am going to try to carefully balance the paper clip. No. Come on. So close. Okay, so the paper clip is balancing on the top of the water.